what your body can do.
Hi, this is Jovanka Ciares from jovankaciares.com, and I have a very special guest. It's a very special friend that also happens to be an amazing entrepreneur and therapist. Her name is Natalie Berthold. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Jovanka. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. And I wanted to talk to Natalie today because you know that I'm all about detoxing and cleansing, and I focus a lot on cleansing your physical body, this beautiful home that is the only home that you have to live in. And it's all about what you put in your body, but it's also very important for us to pay attention to our mental and our emotional home, and cleansing and detoxifying and dealing with stuff that may be sitting there for many years, maybe even before we were born, maybe stuff that has to do with family dynamics and energies that have been with us from the time we were children. Natalie is a family constellation therapist, and she also works a lot with people with eating disorders and food related disorders, correct? Is that right, Natalie?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, I wanted to talk to her today about, it's springtime. It's time for us to do some cleansing, and we want to focus on cleansing our mental and our emotional home. So that's why Natalie's here. So once again, welcome, Natalie.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Jovanka. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. So before we go into the deeper questions, tell us a little bit about what is this family constellation and how can people benefit from it?
So Family Constellation, I've been doing it for 7 years now, and it's still hard for me to articulate. But basically, there's a new science coming out that you might have heard of called epigenetics, and it's a lot about how stuff gets passed down transgenerationally. It's a systemic, family-based therapy that really works with how different dynamics and different blockages and issues and things get passed down through the generations, and we often carry them as if they're our own. And it's about really sort of separating out and allocating out what's yours, what's your ancestors. I really believe that we can manage our own baggage, but when you're trying to manage your parents, your grandparents, all of that, it becomes debilitating.
Right.
And it's a phenomenological experiential therapy. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah.
And I've experienced it myself, and the beauty of this is that it can benefit all kinds of different people. I mean, you can be perfectly seemingly healthy, and maybe you think that you have had a normal childhood, but maybe throughout your childhood, not necessarily with specific to one particular type of trauma, you may have come with a particular type of behavior that is no longer serving you, and you don't know how to handle it, and you think that it may be something that it's in the environment, when in fact it may have come with you from the time you were a child and may have been passed on from one generation to another. And that involves also a lot of detoxing those energetics. Tell us a little bit about how you can, I guess, detox that kind of family dynamic, if you will.
Yeah, well, I think detoxing on all levels is really important. I love that you work with detoxing, and I'm sure when you work with detoxing of the body, you're dealing with a lot of extra junk and a lot of extra crap in their body that's not serving them anymore, and it sort of gets sort of jumbled up, and we get the same thing with our family and our ancestry. It's sort of like this energetic constipation that entangles up in our body, and is quite hard to move forward with. And so with family constellation therapy, it really is about all of these dynamics that sort of are holding us back, are making flow less efficient, right? Whether it is digestion-wise or hormonally or relationships or finances or whatever, there's all these little roadblocks and all these things that can happen that are out of order or due to trauma, and really it's important to clear that out, just like you would clear out the excess sugar and crap in your body.
Pollutants, yeah. Do you find a lot of people that tend to cope with food and then realize that what they're doing is just they're just trying to find ways to heal issues that may have come with them from many years in the past, and when they work with you, they kind of have a transformation of, if you will, like, it's because when I worked with you, I remember you saying to me, in a lot of these cases, just one session, 1 or 2 sessions is enough to give you that big breakthrough that you may have tried all kinds of other stuff in the past, and just recognizing that there is a problem and then kind of like allowing it to let go is enough to heal issues that may have been with you from the time you were a teenager, even serious issues like eating disorders.
Yeah, definitely. One thing I like about this, there's 100 things I like about this therapy, but one thing is that it does go for the hidden dynamics, the things that are sort of like your blind spots, things that you don't really think of, or when you go to regular therapy, they're trying to make sense of what you're dealing with in the context of what happened in your own life. And that's great, but it's only a part of the equation. I actually got into this work because I myself had an eating disorder for 15 years and experienced this work 7 years ago in South America, had an immediate breakthrough, understood the depth and why I had this eating disorder on a totally different level, and then let the eating disorder go. And so from there, I said, oh my gosh, I need to, train in this, and I need to work with eating disorders. And since then, I've really, that's a portion of my clientele, but it's all sorts of issues, again, relationship, financial, whatever, where where you're repeating patterns and you can't seem to, it's like we work with these spiritual great people who know better, but they keep repeating patterns.
Yeah. So presumably not dealing with some of these family dynamics can seriously affect our health. And it's not just the obvious stuff. I've had trauma, something happened with my parents. It's even people that have had relatively normal childhoods, where these dynamics can seriously affect our health. Do you see that in your practice? Like, how does it affect our ability to be strong in our bodies and maybe even control our weight and be physically and emotionally fit?
Yeah, well, to answer that first part, I mean, a lot of people will contact me and say, well, I actually had a really good childhood. And I say, wonderful, great. You're already ahead of most people. It's not necessarily, like you said, directed totally at your childhood. It's trauma in your family system. Were you involved in Holocaust, your family system, or war, or someone died young and tragically, or someone missing, was someone institutionalized? There's about 100 different dynamics that can affect you. And that's not to overwhelm people. It's just to be aware that, when you come into a family soul, this family soul is directing a lot of your decisions and health issues and things like that. So, yes, a lot of family dynamics can affect, like you said, hormones, food-related issues, these things that you've, done mantra work and tried all these things. And,
You've tried it all.
My thing that I tell clients is if it feels like poltergeist. That's my sort of analogy, because I remember when I had eating disorders or other patterns that I've dealt with, when I just felt like this forceful energy would just kind of come over and I would disassociate for a second and I would just repeat the same crappy pattern, even though I considered myself a very with it woman. That's a strong indication that it's beyond you. It's also family dynamic related. But yeah, it can affect you in so many ways.
Yeah. And I know that you and I have had conversations about this, and you talk a lot about flow. And how does family dynamic affect flow?
Yeah. Well, flow, when I think of flow, I think of everything, right? Namely, family constellation work is supposed to help you move forward in life. That's the best gift you can give your family. That's the best gift you can give your ancestry, is just to keep moving forward and to live your best life. So flow can come in the form of, you're assimilating nutrients well and pooping them out. Your hormones are working for you. Money is coming in. Relationships are coming in. Things aren't stuck. Things aren't going backward in whatever form, with your body as well. So, if things are out of order in your family system, I mean, how many people do you know sort of practice parentification, meaning they're their mother's mother, right?
Oh,
That's
God.
out of order. That's out of flow. And so many people have that dynamic. Or they reject their mother, or someone in their family is missing, whether they're estranged from the family or cut off or died young and early. If you look at your family system, that's a piece of it that ideally would be there and help flow, and it's gone. And we tend to go to those holes and those places where there's not flow, because out of our best intentions we want to fix that space, but usually we can't. So family dynamics totally affect flow. And if you're not in the flow of life, which if you are or not, because again, things are happening easily for you, digestive wise, or in life if you're in flow. But if not, you're not in flow, it could very well be family dynamic based.
Right. And so when people have all these issues with weight and the yo-yo dieting situation that the vast majority of the people in North America, at least, suffer from. We go through these ups and downs all the time, and we've tried it all. Is that either not respecting that flow, or is it all about that pattern that you said that it keeps repeating, that it's keeping us kind of stuck? Like, are those two related, that repeating pattern and that flow? How do they relate?
Yeah. I mean, usually it's not a matter of us not reflecting flow or respecting flow. Usually it's a matter of us, out of love and loyalty to our family system, volunteering for roles or positions that don't really serve us and that consequently bring us out of flow. So usually it's with good intentions we go to that space rather than lack of respect. I mean, occasionally it is, but yeah, it's usually just some things in the family system where reconciliation or separation, reconciliation hasn't happened, or there's separation or lack of flow in the family system, and we gravitate towards that spot, again, out of love and loyalty or wanting to be helpful, and it ends up not being helpful for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. So and I know that some of this work can be done, most of the work that you do people on a one-on-one basis. You and I have worked together individually, but you also do these beautiful group coaching programs that are just really amazing. And I know some of your past clients that are now friends, and I love them. But it's not hard. It's not easy. I mean, the people that are watching this video may be all over the world. Is there anything that people can do that they can access some of this amazing therapy in the comfort of? And also, if you think about it, some people may be uncomfortable sitting in a group and talking about their crap. Really. Is there any way that people can benefit from this in the comfort of their own home and in the privacy of their own home?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, up until recently, I had been doing one-on-one, in-person, and phone sessions, but then in like the group work. But actually, all of this flow talk is very near and dear to me right now, because I'm actually having a baby in 2 weeks. And when I got pregnant, it was a surprise, I'll admit, but my first thought was, thank God I've done a lot of family constellation therapy, because I know that my baby's pretty free and clear of all these dynamics I sort of sorted out. So with that in mind, I, did create a program called Finally Flowing, and it's I guess overtly centered around hormones, periods, fertility, your sort of endocrine system, but really it's connected to every single flow in life. And I sort of picked the 14 sort of biggest dynamics that I consider that affect flow in life. And it's all, you can do it in the comfort of your own home. There's the healing meditations and everything that go with it. And I do phone calls with it. So it's It's a great way, plus while I'm on maternity leave, to be able to access this work and to be able to do it, as many times as you need to. And people get messy with this work. It causes crying, it causes whatever. And I'm a big fan of the in-person and group work, but I also understand the luxury of just being at home and doing the work yourself. So
yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a program that is a mix of pre-recorded lessons where you can do them at your own time, and then they get a little bit of your expertise also in some sort of kind of live calls.
Right. Yeah, it's 14 modules. It's a very extensive course. What I love about it, it's not fluffy and it's not for the faint of heart. It's not like, oh, it's just not fluffy new age work. It's very, very, very deep and very intense. It's 14 modules of that. It's also great for people that coach other people on these things, because sometimes coaches get stuck and they're not going deep enough with their clients. Like, there's so much deeper stuff. And then there's a guided meditation for each to sort of rearrange these family dynamics. Okay. And then, yes, there's some calls with me and in a Facebook group. So cool. It's I definitely don't want to leave people unsupported in the process.
So maybe we can put a link below the video so that people can check out that program, like, the link to the website, and people can check it out if they so choose to, so that they can hopefully benefit from it. I might have to check it out too. I mean, what you just said about how we can all benefit from it too. But as teachers, I'm constantly striving to learn new ways to allow my clients to have those types of breakthrough. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to have you here, is because I know that there's things that people can learn from this type of work that you do.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, I'll give you guys a special little discount then.
Oh,
how's that?
Cool. Yay! Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll do that.
But yeah,
maybe what we'll do is we'll tell people, you know what, they'll have the discount just for a few days. And then, and they can go check it out. So we'll put the discount code. Thank you so much. That's very sweet.
Yeah, of course. No, and I think it just goes in line with the detoxing that you do, and I know that's the value of detoxing on all different levels. For sure,
and it is, and the work that you do is transformational, and it is the kind of stuff that is so complementary to getting rid of that kind of chemicals and pollutants that happen to be in the body. But there's so much that it's all in our brains, and that we carry this like a big bag of potatoes that we need to allow our mental home to also get a nice cleanup every so often. So thank you so much. So before I let you go, do you have any other comments or any final thoughts for us?
Well, yeah, I was just going to piggyback off of what you said. When I meet people who are allergic to everything, who, have all these health issues, who are holding on to toxins, heavy metals, all this crap, I gotta wonder, and when I look into their family system, it's like there's a family dynamic that's pulling them towards, why are they so sensitive to things? Why are they so holding on to things? It's all sort of connected in that way as well. And so, yeah, it's like these dynamics are precursors to certain behaviors and stuff, and allergies and sensitivities and all sorts of stuff that people have as well. So, yeah, I think it's definitely connected, and it's just a whole nother lens or level to look at it and work with it.
Yeah, I think the recurring message seems to be we are all holding on to stuff, whether it is physically or emotionally, and it's time for us to allow that flow, kind of like turn that flow on, so that we can, out with the old, in with the new, and allow for that new environment filled with light and beautiful things to manifest.
Yeah, it's like an energetic colonic. So
I love it. Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for having the time and for the beautiful discount code. We're gonna put it right on the description box. And if you have any questions whatsoever for Natalie or about this particular topic, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this whole topic. It is really, really fascinating. And if you get to work with Natalie, whether it is in person or through this new program that she has, she will change your life for good. Like I've recommended her to my friends. It's because I truly believe in her energy and the work that she does. So make sure that you leave a comment below, and if I cannot answer that question, I'll relay it to Natalie, and I'll make sure that you get the answer. So thanks
Okay.
again, Natalie, for taking the time.
Thank you.
And you make sure that you share the video with all of your friends that might benefit from this amazing work. And also make sure to subscribe for great tips and a jolt of motivation for your sexy, healthy, and beautiful life. See you soon.
I will share. Thank you. Bye, Jovanka.
Bye. Learn the 3-step system that has helped thousands of women lose the flab, increase energy, sleep better, get regular, and lose weight. Get your free copy of the Sexy Body Reset today.
Show me what your body can